Reba McEntire, and I'm here to take you back in time to 1979. I don't know about you, but I never forget a face. On All My Children, Myrtle Fargate's the same way. The minute she saw Langley Wallingford's mug, she knew he looked familiar. Myrtle knew him from somewhere, but she simply couldn't remember where they'd met. Believe me, Langley was hoping beyond hope that Myrtle would never remember they'd crossed paths years before at a carnival in Topeka, Kansas. That's where Langley stole Myrtle's purse. It was a small-time crime, but now Langley was trying to bag some big game, Phoebe Tyler, and only Myrtle could expose the good professor for the phony he really was. If only she could remember how she knew him. And keep your eye on Erica. She's about to pay a high price for her lies. It's no wonder People magazine picked this episode as one of their favorites.
What a welcome sight you are.
Well, not so welcome as to see you back here at your old stamping grounds.
Well, thank you kindly, sir. I guess you've come to see Eleanor.
Uh-huh. Is she here?
She is indeed.
No, we're just looking pretty as a picture.
Oh,
Listen, why don't you come with me and let me feed you lunch and I'll show you off.
Oh, I can't.
Well, not you have to eat, don't you?
Well, yes, but I really have got some new merchandise to unpack and mark.
Oh, go on, Ellen. You know I can do that.
I'm not mind the store at the same time. You can't.
Are you trying to say that I've lost my knack, huh?
No, I am trying to say I don't have time for lunch.
Listen, you're not as smart as I thought you were if you don't have time for the best-looking man in town.
Listen, Myrtle, I'm going to take you to lunch.
Well, I don't think I'd better compete with the boss lady here. Listen, I wish you'd go. You know, I get a lot more done when you're not here.
Well, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I second that. Go on, will you? Get your coat.
Get your coat.
Yeah, grab your hat.
And leave my words at the door.
You say it. Go on, will you?
Yes, sir. That's provided it's only a quick lunch in the neighborhood, okay?
Look, I have got some people over there already warming up the seats on the hearth. Will you please go?
Oh, such a beast. I love it.
How's Kelly?
Well, she's getting better.
Good.
According to Link. I haven't seen her myself since last night, it seems. Well, it seems I'm not allowed to.
I know, that's right. Only her attorney and the hospital personnel.
Yeah. Well, your brother's tending her, so that makes me feel better.
Oh, well, he's only the best.
Yeah, he's a fine man. Not just as a doctor, but he's got so much compassion and understanding for Kelly's problem.
Well, he cares a lot about her, as we all do.
Yeah, I know that. And Link is going to get her out of this mess. I know that, too. And then the nightmare will be over, and they'll have the good life that they deserve.
I'm all set, Counselor.
Oh, that's my girl. Here's and another little kiss even my other girl.
Now, you have a nice, long, lingering lunch.
Yes. Yeah, you know where to reach us, don't you, if you hear anything from Kelly?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now, go along. Don't hurry back. I won't. Do me a favor.
Myrtle.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
I'll be right up.
Well. If it ain't Professor Wallingford. And what can I do for you, honey?
You can keep that loose tongue of yours from wagging, Mrs. Fargate, before it gets you into a lot of trouble.
Look out, Langley. Myrtle's bound to remember your face sooner or later. Me? I'll never forget the look on Tom Cudahy's face when he discovered that his wife, Erica, had been taking birth control pills behind his back. Just another in Erica's endless string of lies. And Tom had had enough. Now he's kicked her out of the house. But she's not about to leave without a fight. Before we see her game plan, let's drop into the Hearth restaurant, where Paul Martin is lunching with Ellen Shepard.
I wouldn't want Myrtle to know this, but I think that Lincoln is the wrong man to defend Kelly.
Why?
It has nothing to do with his ability as an attorney, you understand? It's just I really feel that he ought to think twice before he takes Kelly's case.
You think he's too close to it?
I just don't think he's going to have the objectivity that's necessary.
Did you mention that to him?
Yes, I did. I told him that I was dead set against it.
But of course he doesn't agree with you.
Not in the least. He really feels like that this emotional involvement is going to give him the edge. He truly feels that he'll be able to speak for Kelly with much more conviction.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
At least I did get him, though, to go and discuss this thing with her and let it be her option, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. When did you see Link?
I went to his office this morning.
Was that the only reason?
I went there to tell him that I was reinstating the divorce action.
What did he say?
What could he say? He accepted it.
Then it's official.
Now, look here. Anne has regressed, and Dr. Wilson has not been able to give any hope that Anne will ever have a recovery.
Would he say that in court?
He really doesn't want to, but at least he's agreed that I should get another psychiatrist who can evaluate Anne's condition, somebody that I feel would be a little bit more objective.
Objectivity again. I still wonder how objective we're being about Anne.
Now, you listen here. You're not going to give me a hard time again, are you?
No. No. Because there's nothing really more to be said.
Everything is going to work out perfectly.
I hope so. Because the only thing I really want is your love.
You got that.
How dare you, Mother? Erica! When are you going to learn to keep your nose out of my private life? What happened? What do you think happened? After you and Mark told Tom about the birth control pills.
That's not true. Mark and I spent the entire morning looking for you, trying to warn you.
Okay, maybe you didn't come out and say it, but you might as well have.
Erica, would you please calm down and just tell me what happened?
Tom threw me out. That's what happened. He never wants to see me again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. And it is all your fault. Yours and my brother Mark's, you two big mouths. You ruined my life.
Erica, that's not true. We said nothing. Tom practically knew when he walked into this office.
Why didn't you lie to him? Why didn't you tell him it wasn't true?
Because we had no idea what Dr. Crater had said.
Well, you didn't even try to help me. And now I don't have a husband, and I don't even have a home to go to.
Oh, I don't think he meant it like that.
He told me to pack my things and get out by tonight, or he'd put my things on the street.
Well, couldn't you think of anything to say?
He wouldn't believe me. He said he would never believe me again. Well, my marriage is just over.
Oh, honey. I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. Just go to Tom and you change his mind.
I can't do that.
Mother, you are the one who got me into this mess.
Look, Erica, give Tom a little time. He'll cool down.
He will not cool down. And waiting is just going to make things worse.
But what good would I do? I mean, he wouldn't listen to me.
Can't you even try to help me? Or don't you care what happens to me?
Of course I care. I mean, for heaven's sake, why do you think I spent the entire morning desperately trying to find you? In order to warn you.
Never mind about that. You just go to Tom. You just go to him, Mother, before it is too late.
Too late?
Don't you understand? Somebody has got to go to Tom and talk sense into him before he does something drastic. Like go to a lawyer and get a separation agreement or a divorce.
Oh, honey. Tom would not do anything as rash as that.
You didn't see him. You don't know how angry he is at me, Mother. Please. Please, I'm begging you. Please go to my husband and tell him that it was all a terrible mistake. He can't leave me, Mother. He can't.
But I can't interfere, Eric. It's not my place.
Mother, please. Please, if you love me at all, help me. I can't lose him.
Erica?
Please, Mother, please, go to Tom. I have no life without him. I will kill myself if I lose him.
How long will you keep me here?
Well, Kelly, we're making progress. A couple more days or so.
It's funny, you know, I always wanted to get this junk out of my body. It's just that I have to go back to that cell.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's so.
Well, you're not going to be in too big a hurry to get rid of me, are you?
Not going to let you go, Kelly, until you're perfectly fit, physically. But on the other hand, I can't keep you here indefinitely.
Oh, I know that. I know. Even with the bars on the window and the guard at the door, I just don't feel like a prisoner. I think it has to do with your bedside manner.
Maybe. Listen, Kelly, I really don't think you have to be overly concerned about all this. I mean, Link seems to me to be right on top of the case. And I'm just sure that this whole ordeal will be over soon.
Sure. I just worry about Myrtle. You know, I don't like her alone in that house for too long.
No, Willis, don't you worry about Myrtle. We're all keeping tabs on her. She's going to be all right.
I beg your pardon?
It has been brought to my attention that you have been spreading malicious rumors about me, Mrs. Fargate. And I warn you, I shan't sit still for that kind of slander.
And what exactly are you referring to?
The ridiculous assumption that you and I have met in the past.
Oh, that ain't an assumption, sweetheart. That is a fact. We have met. Only you weren't no professor then.
There is no way in this world that our paths would have ever crossed, Mrs. Fargate. And you have been impugning my reputation with statements and insinuations that I have some sort of shadowy past.
I ain't impugning nothing but if the shoe fits.
The shoe most definitely does not fit. It's quite clear that you're using this as a ploy to throw the authorities off the track in your attempt to obscure your own feelings of guilt about Eddie Durance's murder.
My feelings of guilt?
Or those of your cohort, Miss Kelly Cole. Obviously, one or the other of you is the culprit.
Now, just hold it. Just hold it right there, Miss.
It won't work, Mrs. Fargate. You and I have never met before in our lives.
Oh, yes, honey, we've met. And one of these days, I'm going to remember exactly where and when and what your real name is.
My name is Professor Langley Wallingford. My world has been academe, an area which one of your class would enter only through the back door.
Baloney. If you're a professor, I'm the Queen of Sheba.
We have been through this before, Mrs. Fargate. If you persist in making these slanderous accusations, I will not hesitate to take legal action against you.
You're getting a bit hot under the collar, ain't you, Professor?
That is all I have to say. The police are quite satisfied with my credentials. I suggest that you respect their good judgment. Good day.
I've met that clown before. I just can't quite remember where. But I know one thing for sure. He is bluffing.
If your plastic diaper can't breathe, there's no need to feel blue. Make a wish for the one that lets fresh air flow through. Welcome breathable hug.
Every right to ask my mother to intercede for me. After all, if it hadn't been for my mother, I wouldn't be in this mess.
I don't believe that for a minute. You were the one using the pill and then lying to your husband about it.
My mother told you that?
We have no secrets from each other.
Well, my mother had no right to talk to you about something like that.
Well, whom else would she talk to?
It's just another example of my mother's constant interference into my private affairs.
Do you call what she's doing now interfering?
I call it the very least she could do under the circumstances after she broke a confidence to my husband.
Broke a confidence? Erica, your mother was frantically trying to reach you all morning to warn you about Tom's suspicions.
Oh, please, Dr. Tyler, if my mother had really wanted to reach me, she could have.
Well, I'm sorry it's happened anyway, and I hope your mother can do some good for you.
Tom, I wish I could persuade you to find it in your heart to forgive her, to give your marriage another chance.
No, Mrs. Kane, I have given it all the chance I'm going to give it.
Erica is very sorry. She'd do anything to make this up to you.
It's too late, Mrs. Kane. I have taken all the lies I can take.
She didn't mean them as lies.
I know what she meant. She meant to keep me quiet. She meant to placate me so she could go on doing her own thing. Well, I was just an excuse for Erica. Someone where she could tack a Mrs. in front of her name.
That's not true. She loves you very much.
In her fashion.
No, she does. She truly does. She begged me to ask you to forgive her. To give her another chance.
Mrs. Kane, it's too late. If I take Erica back now, I would lose every ounce of self-respect that I have left.
Do you love her, Tom?
I don't know how I feel about Erica now. I only know that I can't take any more. She has deceived me since before we were married. Her phony desire to want to become a Catholic. And the numbers she pulled with the annulment with Jeff, everything was supposed to be okay, no problem. You know what a mess that was.
I remember that.
And the fiasco with Richmond and the Adonis campaign. And she made a complete fool out of me. She practically got herself raped. And then the disco. But this, I mean, to lie to me about wanting to have a baby, that is the worst and most unforgivable deceit. And there is no way that I can ever trust Erica again.
Not even if she's learned her lesson.
It's too late, Mrs. Kane. If a marriage is not founded on trust, then it's not founded. It isn't as though I threw Erica a curve. She knew that I wanted to have a family. If she wanted to wait, why didn't she just tell me?
I know, you're right. I begged her to come to you. I begged her to tell you the truth.
But it would have been against Erica's own best interests. And that is all Erica cares about. Being in the limelight. Going her own way. Well, she can do whatever she wants to now. Because our marriage is finished. And I don't think that even you can deny that, Mrs. Kane.
I'm sorry, Tom. I'm so very sorry.
I'm sorry, too. I tried, Mrs. Kane. You can't say I never tried.
I'll leave you now. Tom, thank you for listening.
Thank you for coming by.
Goodbye, Tom.
Goodbye, Mrs. Kane.
Poor Tom. His dream of a happy little family was shattered. But you know how Erica always gets her way, especially with men and her mother, too. I always hated the way Erica treated Mona, didn't you? Well, eventually, she managed to convince Tom to give their marriage one more try by assuring him no more lies. No more lies? Hey, this is Erica Kane we're talking about. But if it's a fairy tale romance you're looking for, who can ever forget Cliff and Nina? Get ready for the wedding we all remember. Don't miss it. That's tomorrow, and you're all invited.
This is Joan London.
And Charles Gibson. Tomorrow, vacation rip-offs. Falling for a travel scam could cost you more than money.
How to keep your dream vacation from becoming a nightmare on Good Morning America.
Will Dimitri read the letter that could expose Erica's adoption scheme? Watch what happens on All My Children today.